Hello and welcome. This is going to be a zodiac specific reading. We're shuffling the remaining signs from the Starcodes deck. Who is going to get this reading? Gemini, cross-pollinate. So this is the number 3. Has to do with communication and mirroring generally. Can be early childhood and sibling energy if you're using this as a timeless reading. We all have Gemini somewhere in our charts. Most likely, though, you will be a sun, moon, rising, or stellium Gemini. Let me know what you're reading for or watching for here. What energy is Gemini dealing with today? We have our first card popping out. Inner conflict. Indeed. Tell me more, Gemini. What's got you in a tangle? You're having some miscommunication. Your chart ruler, Mercury, is in the pre-shadow. I don't feel worthy. Oh, come now. Gemini, you have so many gifts. Let's see. Tell me more. Synchronicity, luck, divine intervention. I like that. So something's coming in in order to validate you or to help you to feel either more courageous, more validated, more appreciated, more seen for who you are, not for just the superficiality of a situation. Maybe you're craving a deeper conversation, deeper connections, some type of, there's a lot of information popping out there. Seems like it's a complex situation for many of you, and that's going to get a little bit specific. So let's keep it on that superficial level. No, we're going to go general, because even when things are general, there can be a lot of specific depth, and it's more relevant to more people. So maybe you're something specific about your circumstance others aren't seemingly able to relate to, but maybe there is something at the core of this that people can identify with. Let's see. We've got a couple more popping out. We'll take those ones and leave this here. I like lots of attention and action. Perhaps a fire sign, or you have some fiery bits awakening. Mercury's retrograde is completely in the sign of Aries this year. So you may be finding yourself wanting a little more attention and validation in that regard for yourself or your ideas or ideals. Does this align with your highest path? Venus is now together with Saturn, so perhaps there's some, dare I say, repression of the femininity, whether you're masculine or feminine. This can come through pushing down our authenticity, our needs, and sublimating our needs through giving to others, mirroring others, and being available for them, and then hiding out when we need instead of asking for. This can be that feeling of unworthiness and inability to be completely vulnerable or intimate in even appropriate situations where it is safe to trust and to be loved unconditionally. And this may also have to do with the feminine line of your family. Maybe your caregivers were emotionally, I want to say a word that's escaping me, but emotionally, let's just say immature. I know that's a harsh word. It's not the word that I wanted. Legit. Okay. So there's been some emotional maturity that hasn't been able to be correctly demonstrated for you. And so you are feeling left on your own when you have these more complex ideas coming up. Is somebody coming to see you? Maybe that's what's going to give you some validation. The cards that popped out are Goat, greatest of all time, highly protected and favored by the divine. So know your status. Awakening, wake up call. Maybe something has insulted your value here, and you're being told not to allow this to sit on your soul. Give and take, sharing, overcompensation, inequality, win lose. If there's a loser and a winner, then that's definitely unequal. Someone is perhaps not sharing, or maybe you are not feeling some type of safety or security that allows you to come fully into a situation. Maybe you're not feeling accepted or validated in some way. And here we have local and introvert. Okay. So maybe let's keep going. Let's get some more cards. Under the deck, 3 of feathers, release and recovery with that moth energy, illuminated, transformed, moving from chrysalis phase into winged phase. So yeah, something has definitely come up. Maybe your friend or mate likes a lot of attention, and this is making you feel like you can't compete. Or maybe you want more attention but don't feel worthy of commanding a room. Here we have Page of Acorns, discovery and enthusiasm with a spider monkey, and 4 of Acorns, comfort and community. We already had that local card. So if there's local introvert, perhaps you don't know, like for me, I'm seeing that I'm from a small town. So local for me, there are a lot of very familiar faces. If you walk into one establishment, there are those people that go there, and then another establishment, those people go there. Everybody knows your name, not necessarily my name, because I'm the local introvert. So even though Gemini is said to be extremely loquacious and has a lot to say and busy doing, being being busy and inspired, but for all of that information that spews forth from you, are you really allowing people to see the depths of you? I can see that you're inspired yourself to do your own research. You've got a lot going on for you. You're this cute little spider monkey, but then maybe this walrus represents the older generations, and they don't need to be older in time, but the older belief structures, those individuals that are resistant because they're in their comfort zone. So maybe you come from a small community that has some established values. I wonder who I am talking to here. So maybe there's an opportunity for you to get a lot of attention from some type of innovative thing that you've been studying. I'm hearing ancestry, but that doesn't need to be for everybody. The Hanged Man with patience and perspective, the Praying Mantis, and 11, justice, truth, and clarity. Patience, perspective, truth, and clarity. Yeah, so if you are not being met with any type of validation to go on that initial bit of this because of an old guard, or like the good old boys club in an old established community or institution, it's difficult to penetrate the belief structures, judgments, and the value systems that a group holds. But as we know, you can't fight for something, because as we are fighting, then we are being combative, and then those other individuals dig into their point. It creates the opposite of magnetism, that repulsion energy of, oh no, I'm going to believe in my way. but it looks like with patience, consistency, and inverting your approach, there is a way to make this content that you're trying to present become more relevant to those other individuals. So I'll just use something that comes into my head, not for any specific reason, but in the case of a small town that holds antiquated views between ethnicities and races and cultures, it's an easy one to pick on, where in this place and time where I'm at, perhaps making that a little bit more relevant. And we could go with the masculine feminine stereotypes as well. Those old belief patterns, you can see them playing out in the lives of those that hold so dearly to their status, that their clinging to status has to do with both those that they idolize, that they perceive as above them, which puts them into a challenged position, defensive position to hold their status. And that also depends on their ability to place others in the perspective of having been or being below them. So that hierarchical thinking may be something that you are attempting to penetrate within a group or something like that, or between individuals. Cross-pollinate is here for a reason. It's the ability to utilize the language of the other to penetrate their perspective and to allow them to develop some semblance of empathy for something that isn't naturally occurring for them at this point, for whatever reason. So I don't know why we're talking about this, but with patience, your perspective will be able to pierce through that judgment phase, and the truth and clarity will speak very clearly for itself. It's how do we lead an individual beyond the chasm of I had something in my head, that huge ravine of understanding, that cognitive dissonance, that's what it is, that huge chasm of cognitive dissonance will, if we trigger it in a specific way, there's no way that that individual will come into clarity and awareness. But in another gentler way, perhaps with gentle sarcasm, we can pierce through. I'm seeing a situation this morning that I couldn't help myself. I commented on somebody's belief post on a social media, and I tried to be friendly, but they were implying that the divinity, the power that be in their ideals, was repulsed and couldn't tolerate men and women wearing the wardrobe of each other. And I'm thinking to myself, should I go get my button-up petticoats on, or are we good if I wear jeans? You know, what gives us as humans the right to control and dominate other individuals with our value beliefs? I mean, do you really think that an all-powerful, all-loving God dislikes individuals because of what they choose to wear? All things are forgiven in the context of divinity. And I am sorry that I put my beliefs out here for some, but that's just the way I approached it. Was, that's really something to think that wardrobe is the thing that's unforgivable. I just left it at that. Here we have this toothy individual here. Somebody may have prominent teeth. I'm not sure. But walrus, it's thick skin, someone who believes in their wisdom, somebody who's kind of roly and poly, perhaps, not in this case for myself, but it could be somebody who's in that insulated value system that hasn't been able to move beyond their perspective. That thick skin keeps them encapsulated and insulated in their perhaps privileged understanding. Six of Acorns, success and triumph. And when I was pre-shuffling and mixing in those cards, I saw the nobility with the elk coming to the front. So don't allow yourself to be brought into an aggressive standpoint, because aggression will probably leave somebody feeling unworthy, and it doesn't really help us. But somehow there's an awareness here, a divine intervention that allows us to help others awaken to the call of divinity here, a wake-up call, and to show them what divinity is all about. And you are perhaps the one to do that in a really subtle, gentle manner. So trust your ability. And perhaps that person who doesn't feel worthy is the one that's making the statement that creates that inner conflict, is the cognitive dissonance. So yeah, people will speak from the things that repulse them as though it is divinity. But we're all here trying to figure it out together. So, and then we have the sun, vitality and joy, that glorious, high vibrational, gentle, peaceful, hardly perceptible, perhaps local introvert, coming and rising above and shedding light on a situation. So trust that you're able to do this in the most subtle and gentle manner, and that many will see the light of your truth and wisdom. Nine of Crystals, security and abundance. You're able to use the web or the internet in many cases, and the web of mutual understanding, such as using another's language to speak to them, being able to strum the web in a subtle manner allows them to feel the awakening of truth and to challenge their own ideas. It's a changing world, folks. Don't we know it? King of Shells, harmony and integrity. That's what it seems like it is all about here, is the ability to create more love and understanding by use of our character strengths and our loving heart and the protection of divinity to help others come to their own attention. And that is very noble indeed. Great job, Gemini. If I am the only one to validate you today for your mouth and your attitude, let me be that one. So the King of Shells is the master of the emotional waters. Creates a lot of security and abundance in the wake of your energy. Yeah, okay, we have the Page of Swords coming out and twisting itself into the reverse. If you can see how aggressive this individual's face is, this is perhaps how they speak to their inner child, and the page is quite immature, and perhaps it was us that spoke out of turn and got corrected. We're and maybe we weren't as polite and innocent in our reply for some of us, but trust the messages to work their way through you. Here's the Ace of Cups. I hope I can show her booty on here. YouTube, I don't know. And then, oh, look at that. The Ten of Cups on the backside shows that same fountain depicted in the Ace of Cups here. So this could be happening perhaps with a parent figure. Showing up here, it looks as though it's almost a father or grandfatherly figure, a boss, a manager, an individual that is at the top, some type of emperor-like energy where they're used to having control and hierarchy and perhaps even being bowed to quite literally. And So it looks like you are a bit up on this pedestal. So your reputation precedes you, and your reputation in spirit succeeds you, succeeds through you. I'm not sure. Take that as you will. But the Ten of Cups is often that family card. We talked about families, didn't we? And the Ace of Cups is that renewal in universal love. And it's the voice of loving reason that says, I am the Divine Mother. And let me just correct you, my dear. Grow up already. Love you. So let's see where we split it. The Magician, another number 1. And then we have the Star card, pouring the waters of divinity both onto land and to water to restore the collective waters and to detox those waters with the purity of the channel of divine wisdom and light, ingenuity, beauty, the age of Aquarius speaking through you, and also to replenish the land and to give to the driest of deserts and to replenish the life there with the light of love. So somebody is a desert, and here you are bringing in the oasis. So somebody needs what you got to offer, so don't let them fool you. And don't be fooled yourself. Here we have the Ten of Pentacles, that legacy card, the reputation and the others approaching the old man. I'll show you the other side of this card and we'll get a peek at the Three of Pentacles there. The other side is, it looks as though he's there alone with his dog, perhaps the local introvert, right? Or that old man, the emperor image, who's got his coins together. He's privileged. Skip talking about white privilege, but I'm not ignorant to it. And here we have the Ten of Pentacles where we see his back. So it shows his stubbornness and his determination and his fixed thinking. But his ideas have gotten some results. And here we have the young couple approaching him. What are they asking? It could be the old style, asking for the hand in marriage or coming with a declaration. Are they moving? Are they getting married, but they're not from the same religion? Who knows what the controversy is? And with the context of earlier, it could be many different things. But can we just be happy for other individuals? And I'll leave that one there. And then we have somebody returning, beaten up, approaching this feminine. So it almost looks like somebody is like, oh snap, can I say that one? And like, oh, I screwed up. And this individual's like, yeah, you can leave that grungy armor at the door. Don't walk in my cave with your dirty armor. It's like other people can go out and be warriors of whatever they want to do, and that's good for them. But that doesn't mean they need to walk into our sacred space with their negative anything. Here we have the Sun card. It's beautiful energy. And we have the Sun card here too, and a few fell out. Vitality, joy, reawakening the inner child, mother child, parent child, grandfather. Yeah, it appears that this child is in the garden. And here we have the King of Cups. You've got the King of Cups twice. So perhaps this individual is highly loving. I was taking this King of Shells as yourself, and this could be masculine if you take a peek at the youth and the king there. This may be someone who had controversy with their own father and now has ascended their own throne, or this could be just this spiritual goat that we're seeing here. Being able to stand in your own authority. Okay, here's the Emperor. I knew that one was coming out. And we do have a couple fours, 4 of acorns. Yeah, that it's some kind of leader or head of an organization, a boss of some manner. And then we have the back side of the Star card. I feel like you are conjuring the higher aspect of this individual by challenging them in the way that you are. And this individual may be looking back over their life, their rise, their fall, their accomplishments, their legacy, and also looking to their ancestry here for some answers and clues. And then we get the backside of the Justice card. So maybe this is something you've decided to turn your back on, which is whatever, depending on how your situation is playing out, possibly the best. Yeah, and it almost, even for some of you, it looks as though that there's something to do with a passing a will or being written out of a will if you don't do something. I know that's dramatic and probably TV content, but it's speaking to me in that way with this security and abundance, being able to turn your back on the demands of something that didn't sit with your soul, allowing you to awaken to your true, loving, successful, abundant nature and to create your own security and abundance despite somebody's negative broadcasting. And here we have the Temperance card. Isn't that beautiful? There's those cups again. Now, instead of trying to heal the world, keeping those cups unto the self here is what I'm seeing, although that isn't the meaning of the card. It's being able to cleanse and purify and moderate our own tendencies, our own ego, desires, and needs, and to be able to tap into both realms, earth and water, psychic and practical matters here, and to integrate those waters into something very beautiful, alchemical, and that patience card, patience and perspective through tempering our extreme nature or the extremes of others. The Chariot, there's a lot of movement. Maybe you're taking off from something that has insulted your soul. Others will be moving house, perhaps. Let's see. 4 of Swords, more fours. 3 of Cups, and 2 of Swords. So there's a decision to make here, separating from ideals of others that perhaps have created the illusion of security, but also at the same time that abundance demanded things that were compromising your nature or your higher ideals. But there's reason to celebrate here as you come out into your own energy and are broadcasting your own vibrational frequency. There's a leveling up that's happening here. So I feel like let's get you a couple of oracle cards and then we'll close this one out, Gemini. So first we're going to get you from the Art of War. I feel like somebody is combative, possibly not yourself. Embracing change. Change is inevitable, but many are scared of it. You don't say. Major life events, leaving home, quitting a job, splitting up with a partner, marriage, or divorce, all are stressful. Prepare for the worst, but taking the right risk at the right time will ensure that you get through it. The best way to prepare for change is to be the one driving it. That's that Chariot card here. Sun Tzu said, if, in the midst of difficulties, we are always ready to seize an advantage, we may extricate ourselves from misfortune. It seems a little bit manipulative, but listen, assess the mood, then talk when the time is right. If you have bad news to impart, yeah, there's something here about approaching the elder with something that they're not prepared for, but you are. If you have bad news to impart or a touchy situation to discuss, be aware of the mood of the person you're going to talk to. With practice, you should be able to gauge when someone will be resistant to your ideas and when they'll be open to your point of view and happy to find a resolution. Sun Tzu said, a soldier's spirit is keenest in the morning. By noonday, it has begun to flag, and in the evening, his mind is bent only on returning to camp. This is the art of studying moods. Evolution, not revolution. Yes. Life is a long journey, but you will not travel on your own. Make plans for the short, medium, and long terms. Ensure that the plans flow into each other like a stream into a river and on into the ocean. Get the process right, and the rewards will flow. And finally, Sun Tzu said, the quality of decision is like the well-timed swoop of a falcon, which enables it to strike and destroy its victim. And the victim doesn't need to be the other individual. It can be the mindset that we're wanting to question and quell and heal and reveal to the perpetrator, perhaps. So I will get us one more out of this mixed Kali Kuan Yin deck. All right, we'll take that one that crisscrossed there. Turquoise Lotus Mother and the Yin Empress. You are here to embody the feminine wisdom, knowledge, divinity, and nurturing, but not to caretake at the expense of your own self-development and not self-elevation in a hierarchical way, but the upliftment of your soul song and your ability to feel worthy and equal to all that would question. Turquoise Lotus Mother, 42. Yeah, if somebody's keeping you down, you know. Turquoise Lotus Mother is that divine stepping forward. I'll just read the synopsis here, but it's a very gentle, subtle energy. You may be working with the mineral kingdom or gemstones in general. Actually, I don't know if this is howlite or a form of turquoise, but it's kind of dyed, irradiated. I don't know what it is. It's darker than normal. Turquoise Lotus Mother brings precious healing to you now. Allow yourself to be lifted out of your struggle, beloved one. An old pattern is finally in its death throes, something that weighed heavily on you from your past. This can be one of the most testing times to allow something to go just when it seems to be so demanding of your time, focus, and attention. Yet do not doubt you've actually learned the lessons it required of you